back to Sowing Seeds of Love, where we plant seeds and we give back to Mother Nature. In case you don't know me, I'm Karina Quintanilla, aka Mrs. Q, because I'm also a school teacher. Today I've got a lot of stuff here because we are going to plant potatoes in laundry baskets. So to get started, I used potting mix. Any potting mix will do, but I used Miracle-Gro. I also used blood meal. It is an awesome source of nitrogen. And I use this fertilizer called Medina fertilizer, and it's chicken manure. It's an excellent source of nitrogen, phosphates, and calcium. It's very balanced. We're going to be using 2 different sizes of laundry baskets. I bought this one at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Notice how it already has the holes on the bottom and holes all the way around. I bought this fabric, which was meant for planting, $6 at the Dollar General. So we're going to be putting that into the laundry basket today, and it's very nice because it's light and will allow airflow. And then also, I had already put my potting mix in, but I added about 10 cups of this black cow. And black cow is an excellent compost. If you don't have any compost already created, this is a great, for not so much fertilizer, but it's a great compost. And it's got cow manure in it. It's called black cow. And it's just really rich, and I love to add it to my soils. I think it's a great amendment. So like I said, I had already put about 10 cups in there, and here I'm just scooping a few more in, and that way you mix all that together. And I do have a measuring cup for this, but I decided not to use it. I'm just using my trowel, which is my hand shovel. And I put about like 2 hand shovels full of this stuff. And so this is just going to add a little bit more nitrogen. We have not had any rain here in my zone 9A. So we need some nitrogen. This is a measuring cup, 1/4. I'm using that fertilizer, which is a granule. And I love the granules because once they're in the soil, they are a slow released fertilizer. So I'm mixing that all in together. And this will be my potting mix that I use for our potatoes. Potatoes are heavy feeders, so they need lots of nutrients. And what I'm doing with the fabric here is I'm getting enough just to fit in the laundry basket. It is a thinner material, so you're going to see that I do use 2 sheets of this, and to be honest with you, I really didn't measure. I just kind of eyeballed it. So you know, no numbers there, but you know, you'll be able to see how much you need once you tuck it in, and if you need more like I did, you can cut yourself another piece. I think the main goal here is that when you're putting it in, you don't want to leave any open areas, because if you see in a laundry basket, the slits are really wide and lots of dirt can fall out. So here, as I'm tucking it in, I realized that I did need more. So you just push it in, kind of gauge, see how it goes all the way to the bottom. And then I ended up cutting a second piece. So that's what I'm doing here. I would have loved to do this at the same time, you know, live, but the wind was bad. And so, yeah, that's why I did a voiceover right now. And we're hanging out with the dogs, and it got really windy. For some reason, this summer's been very windy. But here I am tucking in another piece. And the excess part, I got these really cool clips. Actually, I didn't get them. My garden bestie cat got them for me. She got them from the dollar store as well. So all I'm doing here is folding and tucking under the material, and I'm putting clips, and I'm going to do that all the way around, just because when you're putting in the soil, you don't want to displace the material and for it to fall back into the laundry basket. So that's all you're going to do with that. Once you got that intact, then here is where I'm putting in all of the soil. And notice that I'm not going to fill the laundry basket up. It's actually a little bit under the halfway mark. So I kind of firm it down, make sure all your soil pieces are broken up. Here I've got 2 russet potatoes, and notice how they have eyes on them. Those are the sprouts coming up. I just kind of left these potatoes out in a dark area. It's called chitting, and some people like to cut the potatoes in half to get more pieces. I don't. I just keep the whole entire potato together as one, so that way it has more nutrients when it grows. I'm going to put them on opposite sides of the laundry basket, and notice how I make sure that the eyes, which are the sprouts, are facing upward, and I'm leaving space for me to put more soil on top. So here I am putting the soil. By the time that I fill this up, it'll be about halfway through. And the good thing is as your potatoes start to grow, there's room to add more soil. Here I'm adding a little bit more of the slow released granules of the fertilizer. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more soil on top. You don't want too much, because with the heat of the sun, you don't want to burn your plants with the fertilizer. So I'm making sure that's all in there. And then we will water here at the very end. Let's go ahead and start seeing what the second basket is going to look like once I cover this all up. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to just make sure it's got a little bit more soil, and I'm going to slide this basket to the side. This is the second laundry basket. I got this one from the Dollar General. It was $12. It was a little bit more expensive and more what I wanted to pay for, but I definitely noticed it was a little bit taller and more sturdier. I was going to put more potatoes. There are, my husband made holes in the bottom. There are holes all the way around. We're going to do the same process with this laundry basket. What I'm putting in this basket now is our red potatoes. These are organic red potatoes. I didn't let these chit long enough, so I know that the eyes aren't as big, but it'll work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different. I went ahead and filled it up a little bit below the halfway mark. I am going to push my potatoes in opposite sides and a diagonal corner to corner, making sure that the eyes are up. I'm going to push them in, kind of pinch them in there, cover them up a little bit. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other 2 potatoes, and I'm going to add more soil because when I go to put the second set of potatoes, they'll be in the opposite corners. But what's going to happen is when I put those on a different level, higher up, the tubers and the roots that go in underneath the ground are not going to be on the same level. So it's actually going to produce a higher yield of potatoes. I'll have more potatoes to harvest. And I really don't like these red potatoes to be too big. I like them kind of small, like new potatoes. But I will be putting them across each other to allow the roots and the tubers to extend out and not be on the same level. So that's the whole reason of why I'm doing this one a little bit different and wanted a bigger basket to get more production. Okay, so once I set those down across each other in the opposite corners, I'm going to go ahead and cover them back up with soil. And just make sure everything's covered. And that's all really that you need to do. These are ready to get watered, but there's one last step I'm going to show you. This right here is something that I have seen other people do and be very successful. As you can tell, guys, at the bottom of these baskets are holes, so those roots have nowhere else to go but to go straight down. So what I did is I've kind of created this little mound of dirt or soil, and I went ahead and put some bricks in the front because in case I'm watering, I don't want all my soil to get washed down or to run off. So I kind of created a little mound with a little barrier. And I'm going to set both the laundry baskets on this organic matter. This organic matter was some of my compost, a little bit of the potting mix that I had created early. But I'm just going to set the laundry baskets on top. So as the roots start to go down, they have somewhere to be. Now this is really important, an important step. Once you put these laundry baskets here, you do not want to start moving them around. You want to leave them there, because if not, you will uproot them. Okay, and then as the potatoes start to grow, they're going to grow up on this lattice trellis that I have against the fence, because potatoes will grow nice and big. But that's it. I went ahead and also put a little gate around these potatoes, because I've got chickens and I don't want them going in there and messing with it. And finally, water them very well. You don't have to water them every day. Every other day would work just well. And that's it. So here is potatoes in a laundry basket. I will follow up with you guys in a couple of weeks and let you know how they're doing. I've enjoyed you spending time with me. Thank you for following Seeds of Love. God bless.